Imagine walking onto a cruise ship expecting a small windowless cabin and ending up in a private balcony suite with ocean views, champagne on ice, and priority service. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the truth. It happens all the time. You just need to know how to play the game. Cruise upgrades aren't just luck. They're strategy. Hidden opportunities that cruise lines don't advertise, but quietly reward to those who understand how their system works. Let's pull back the curtain on what the cruise industry doesn't want you to know. How to get free upgrades. Real ones, without spending an extra dime. First, you need to understand one thing. Cruise lines hate empty premium cabins. Those balcony rooms and suites sitting unsold by embarkation day? That's lost revenue. So what do? They fill them, quietly, selectively, by upgrading passengers who look like the perfect fit. So how do you become that perfect fit? It starts long before you board. The first trick, be loyal or look loyal. Even if you've never sailed before, sign up for the cruise line's loyalty program before you book. It's free, and sometimes all it takes to appear as a member in the system. Cruise lines are far more likely to upgrade a registered loyalty member than a random guest, even if your status level is technically 0. Now here's the second insider secret: timing your booking. The best upgrade opportunities happen in the weeks before sailing, not months. Why? Because that's when the cruise line knows exactly how many premium rooms they couldn't sell. Book during that last-minute lull, or even better, join a waitlist for a guarantee cabin. A guarantee means you'll be assigned any available room within your category or higher. And when higher tier rooms open up, you're first in line. Here's the third move. Don't over-customize your booking. Sounds odd, but here's why. The more specific your request, the harder it is for the system to bump you up. If you insist on midship portside near the elevator, you've limited their flexibility. But if you leave it open, anywhere is fine. You become the easiest person to upgrade. The computer system loves flexibility. Then comes the art of pre-boarding diplomacy. On embarkation day, dress the part. Be friendly, polite, confident. When you check in, a well-timed question like, "Hi, just wondering if there are any complimentary upgrades available today?" can do more than you think. Cruise agents can't always say yes, but they can flag your profile for later upgrades. If an available suite needs filling before departure, guess whose name pops up first? Now let's go even deeper. The secret zone few passengers even realize exists: the ship's revenue desk. This is where the onboard hotel manager and revenue officers handle inventory and cabin assignments. If you form a genuine, respectful connection, not demanding, just curious, they sometimes offer courtesy upgrades mid-cruise, especially on long voyages. Remember, empty premium cabins cost the ship more than upgrading a happy guest. Next, the magic of sailing solo or in smaller groups. Upgrades are easier when the system only needs to move one person. Couples and families are tougher to rearrange, but a single traveler? Easy to shift into a higher category room if space opens up. Another secret strategy: the power of a price drop. Cruise prices fluctuate constantly. If you've already booked and the price of your cabin drops, call your agent or the cruise line and politely ask for an upgrade instead of a refund. Most won't offer it automatically. But when you point it out, they'd rather give you a better cabin than lose the sale value. And let's not forget special occasions: birthdays, honeymoons, anniversaries. When you note them in your booking, they're flagged in the system. Ships love creating wow moments for guests celebrating milestones. Sometimes that wow includes a complimentary upgrade, especially if suites are available. Now here's one of the least known tricks: embark from less popular ports. Ships leaving from secondary ports often have more unsold cabins than the major ones. Less demand, more flexibility, better upgrade odds. For example, a Caribbean cruise out of Galveston or New Orleans often sees more upgrades than the same line sailing from Miami. You can also play the back-to-back strategy. Book 2 consecutive short cruises on the same ship. Cruise lines love loyal repeaters, especially those staying on board between voyages. If there's a gap in higher category rooms between trips, they might move you up just to simplify turnaround logistics. But the golden rule of upgrades? Be kind to the crew, always. Cruise staff have more influence than you think. The person at the front desk, your cabin steward, even a restaurant manager. They see who's respectful and who's not. A kind, patient guest gets remembered, and when an upgrade opportunity comes up mid-sailing, kindness often wins over status. Now, let's talk about a legendary hack called the GTY Loop. It's simple but powerful. Book a guarantee cabin in a mid-level category. Not the cheapest, but not premium either. Because you haven't chosen a specific cabin, the cruise line can move you up to fill unsold rooms in higher categories. This happens more often than you think, especially on off-peak voyages. It's the quiet loophole frequent cruisers use to score balcony rooms while paying for interiors. Another secret: timing your check-in online. It sounds random, but many cruise lines open online check-in in waves. If you complete yours immediately when it opens, you'll often be placed higher in the boarding priority queue. Early check-ins, early cabin assignments. Better chance the system bumps you before cabins fill. Still with me? Good, because here's where it gets wild. Some experienced travelers actually monitor ship occupancy data before booking. There are websites that show how full a cruise is. If a sailing is at 70% capacity, it means tons of upgrade potential. Book those sailings, not the sold-out ones, because upgrade magic only happens when premium rooms are sitting empty. Here's the truth. The cruise industry doesn't like to discuss. They want the ship to look full and feel luxurious. They'd rather upgrade guests quietly than have guests notice empty premium decks. And that's where you win. So what does it all mean for you? Getting a free upgrade isn't luck, it's leverage. It's about timing, flexibility, and understanding how ships balance image, sales, and logistics. Play the system with respect and strategy. And one day, you might step on board expecting an interior cabin and find yourself opening the door to a balcony suite, ocean breeze pouring in, with a quiet smile knowing you beat the game. Because on the open sea, the best views aren't always paid for. They're earned by those who know where to look.